New dinos, better loot drops, cryopod changes, biome updates, and more. Hello fellow survivors, and welcome to Kyle Can't Game, the #1 place on all of the internet for updates related to the Jurassic Awakening mod for Ark Survival Ascended. Well, technically their Discord page would be the #1 place on all of the internet, but come on, you're busy making narcotics and farming hide. You don't have time to read. Well, I've read it all for you, and I'm here to give you all the pertinent details. As always, for these kind of videos on my channel, chapters are available in the timeline if you're one of those that like to skip around. For the rest of you, we have a lot of info to cover, so let's get right into it. First off, let's talk about cryopod changes in Jurassic Awakening. If you're unaware, all of Ark has been plagued with cryopod issues lately. I first became aware of it watching a BMO Guinness video with Ceratosaurus, but cryopods have been experiencing a weird bug where stats would change on a dino after uncryoing it. Sometimes this bug was visual, sometimes this bug actually changed the stats, and sometimes nothing happened at all. This bug was not particular to Jurassic Awakening, but it did affect Jurassic Awakening, so the modding team has made a few changes to it. I think they're having to go through individually and recode each single dino, but I'm not entirely sure on that. Regardless, given all the dinos and variants in the mod, you could only imagine the absolute mountain of work this has created. I'll show on screen now a picture of all the dinos that they've updated and 100% fixed. It appears as if all new dinos are spawning incorrectly, and all babies, they've been fixed by the team. In order to update your old tames, they'll soon be releasing a dino vaccine that updates your old dinos to make them able to be potted without any fluctuation in stats. This dino vaccine has not been released yet, but when it is, you'll hear about it here first. New dinos and dino changes. First off, the Arctic biome has been worked on a ton, and there are a lot of new dinos and changes specific to that incredibly difficult endgame biome. The Harpagornis now has new materials dropped and new loot added to its kill table, along with a rare alpha variant added to the game. There's a new feral Arctic Deinonychus and Arctic Ceratosaurus. These are very rare spawns, and they will send chills down the spine of even the hardiest of survivors. The modding team also placed limits to spawns of the super rare creatures to limit how many can be on the map at one time. The spawn limit is 3 for the following dinos: Mountain Giga, Arctic Wyvern, Iceworm, and Arctic Giga. The limit for Arctic Tropiognathus is 12. Good news for those of you who are that far, the Sabertooth King is now rideable. I have yet to come across one of these bad boys in-game, and to be frank, I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to my first encounter or not. But for those of you with more strength than I have, you can now ride around the king of the island after taming it. Grassland's Ovis can now be tamed as well, and they're a passive tame. Now it goes without saying that with all the changes to cryopods, new tames, and new changes to dinos, you should definitely do a dino wipe on your server or your single player. And honestly, considering every single Jurassic Awakening update has a ton of dino changes, I'd recommend a dino wipe anytime you update the mod, although it might not be entirely necessary every single time. Moving on to new Engrams and Engram changes. The Quetzal saddle now unlocks at level 55 rather than level 65, so for all of you that like to ride around on an Airbus for your metal runs, you can do that quite a bit earlier, because let me tell you, 10 levels in the mid-game of Jurassic Awakening is no small task, so this is a really, really nice change. The Arctic Carno now has the ability to drop tons of different types of saddles. And also, hugely important, the Giga saddle is unlocked at level 72, and Gigas have a chance to drop saddles or blueprints upon killing them. I believe it's level 96 to unlock it in vanilla, so again, this change is huge. Now guys, before we get into new Dino AI and behaviors, go ahead and give me a like and hit subscribe if you're finding all this info useful. And check out Jurassic Awakening on CurseForge and Discord as well. The links will be in the description. A lot of work by me goes into making these videos, and an insanely larger amount of work by the mod creation team goes into making this amazing mod that we all love. The Arctic Wyvern has had a slight nerf to its fire breath, so you're not going to be too OP while you'll still be incredibly strong. The Yeti has received a nerf to their base HP, alongside a boost to their base melee for a bit of a better balancing. The Tarantula now has a greatly increased web attack, which allows it to have AoE on multiple targets at the same time. Due to how crazy things get in Jurassic Awakening toward the endgame, and given how Argentavis are every real survivor's mount of choice, they've reworked how much health and stamina the endgame Argies receive from harvesting a dead body. The Mountain Argy now heals for 1000 HP and regains 150 stam over 30 seconds. The Arctic Argy now heals for 2000 HP and regains 200 stam. They also changed the AI for the Arctic Argentavis. This beast of burden, get it? Burden? As in, yeah, you get it. Never mind. Anyway, this magical beast is now a territorial and very cranky little bastard. It'll hunt you down from the skies and it will rarely land, mostly only landing in order to eat or regain stam. These things aggro from a very far away. Moving along to new taming mechanics, the Arctic Rhino now is tamed with the new Engram Full Arctic Rhiniognathus Pheromone Dose. So upon killing one, you have a chance to extract a small pheromone sample. Combine these together, and you can create a full dose for enabling a dino to be impregnated by a female. Now it takes 8 small pheromone samples in the mortar and pestle to create the full pheromone dose. So this is going to make getting a rhino a pretty grindy process. However, this might be the king of endgame content on Jurassic Awakening, so it really should be difficult to do. Also updated recently, the new Assault variant of saddles adds 8% increased movement speed to your tame and a 35% increase to melee. That is just an insane stat if you find yourself lucky enough to bag one of these bad boys. Lastly, for taming changes, the large mantis now prefers superior kibble as its best taming food. In other notes, friendly fire is now disabled by default on Jurassic Awakening. This is a very welcome change for one particularly moronic survivor who shall not be named that happens to impale himself on a spring spike trap about 20 minutes or 20 times every hour. And that about does it, guys. Hopefully you got some good info out of this video. By the way, all of these changes have taken place just since July 21st. So as you can see, the mod team is constantly updating and pushing out new content for this amazing mod. And I didn't even cover everything in here. The patch notes are very long and very detailed. So check them out on CurseForge and on Discord. And again, if you found yourself enjoying this, please give me a like and a subscribe so the computer, brain, algorithm, AI thingy that runs YouTube knows about it. As always, if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and we will see you in the next one.